What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and I'm back with another photo analysis. This time I'll be analyzing the covers of MISIA's single Orphans no Namida, which translates to Orphans' Tears in English. Let's begin with the CD only version of the single cover. Alright, so I really like the full moon in the background. A little cheesy, it looks a little cheesy, but I really like it though, you know. Um, I like, I kind of like Misha's body position here, although I kind of wish she was maybe in the middle. I think that that pose that she's doing will look like would work a little better if this was a crescent moon in the background, but it's a full moon. So I kind of would like her to be in the middle instead. Also, I would like her arms to be lower, maybe underneath her chin, or more toward like around the area of her chest, more so than in her face. Lowering her arms to me would look a little better, you know. But this isn't a terrible look. At least the body position, it isn't terrible. I also would like to see her face a little better. And as well, maybe for her to give maybe a better facial expression. But I could kind of deal with the facial expression here. It seems like she's looking at something that's caught her attention, but we're not quite sure what it is. But in this particular photo, you can't really see her face all that well because it's like in 3/4 profile. And usually that does work, but in this particular situation, it doesn't work as well. So I would have liked to have rather seen her face either in total profile or totally straight on. I like her hair. I like the way her hair looks. It's like, really textured. It has a lot of life to it. Um, I'm not really crazy about the outfit that she's wearing. I would have liked for her to maybe have worn like a dress, possibly in the color of either. I think that color is nice. That she's wearing, like that reddish purple color. Um, Something like that, like a red color, or the reddish purple color here, or either black. And I would like it to have been a full-on dress. Like here, she has like some weird top on. I don't know what that's about. So yeah, I would like to have her to have worn a better dress. And I don't really need the flowers in her hair. That I don't really need that. I think that's more of a distraction. Sometimes less is more, and this is a situation where less is more. And she could have also worked her neck a little better in this photo, but I'll let her slide with that. I think that her neck, it looks decent in this photo. Let's move on to the next photo. Right, this is the single cover for the CD plus DVD version of the single. And here we see basically a robot, possibly a war machine type of robot. And the reason we see this is because the song Orphans no Namida, or Orphans' Tears, is being used as a song for the program Gundam. So that's why we see this robot in the photo. And while the drawing is a little simple, I kind of like it. I at least like the shadowing, and I like the big sword. Um, but it's a little plain. And to me, I would have liked to have seen them incorporate both the Gundam robot and MISIA into this photo. I think that would have worked better for me. And as well, that would have been a good way to interpret MISIA's relation to the show, and as well the show's relation to MISIA. I think that the CD only version of the single cover is the better photo of the two. I think this photo has more dynamic in it. The photo is more dynamic. It also has MISIA in the photo, which is great since she is the musical artist. As well, I like the full moon. Even though I have issues with this photo, I think this photo, this single cover, it's the better of the two for me. But as I said, I would have liked to have seen a combination of the Gundam robot and MISIA in a photo. I think that would work even better. That would have been a great place for them to go. And so I don't really think they interpreted the theme of this photo. I don't see any orphans. I don't see any tears. So yeah, I don't think the theme was really interpreted. And the theme could have been interpreted. But like I said, if you don't interpret the theme, deliver a good photo. And this photo is okay. I think what saves this photo for me is probably the full moon, the background, and maybe the dress, the bottom half of her clothing. But what do you guys think? Feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Until the next photo analysis, adios and goodbye for now.